6:35, we'll have a public hearing. Then we'll hear department reports from our police and building. We'll have town administrator updates, and then action items. And we will finish up with old business, new business, and approval of minutes. So if I could please have everybody stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, I got it.
I'd like to have a moment of silence for all the senseless violence going on in the world today, please. Thank you. Public service announcements. Mary Lou?
I have nothing.
Mary Dowling?
Just that there's still time to get tickets to the Woo Sox game tomorrow night. I secured mine today, 6:45, and it's Sturbridge Takeover, is that right?
Sturbridge Town Takeover.
And we're playing anybody know?
Oh, the shrimp.
Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Yeah.
So,
We better beat them. You can't lose to a team named the Jumbo Shrimp. It just can't happen. Yeah,
It's a fun night.
Yeah, get there a little early, pre-game festivities and whatnot.
and we have Bob Rear pitching the first
Greer is
pitch.
pitching the first pitch with the assistance of his son.
Correct.
Nice, nice.
I think it's on the agenda. Robert will probably go deeper into it, the Dowdy Master Plan Review on Wednesday, July 29th. I know we had a pretty great turnout for the first meeting, so this will probably be the engineer coming back with suggestions, right?
Yeah, well, so what we did, just briefly, because this is important for the public, the engineers took all of the information, the different views, the different opinions, the concerns, and they put together a couple of layouts, and land use met, and we have a final version to present back on the 29th at 6 o'clock for the public and be able to take questions at that point about it. We're actually very excited. I think I was pleasantly surprised with the ability to take, I think, everything, maybe except for ice cream stands. Ice cream stands were mentioned throughout, but and from the kids group. But I think the fact that they took pretty much everything that anybody could want and incorporated it in there extraordinarily tastefully, preserving the feel of the area. So I'm really excited about the 29th. They're still working on some tweaks, which is why we haven't put a plan out publicly ahead. So we'd rather just present it at once they get their final tweaks on it. I think geographically it makes sense, working with the topography of the land, what they're looking at makes a lot of sense. So the 29th it will be presented.
Can I ask a clarification?
Yeah, of course.
I thought they were coming back, I didn't realize this is final. I thought they were going to come back, determine what was feasible, get a little more feedback, and then come back again. Is that not correct?
I think it's pretty much, this will be, if there's something outstanding that people see that's an issue, obviously that, people can ask a question.
Oh,
But-
didn't they have a September date too, though? I'm sorry. No, they didn't. Okay.
No.
All right. No.
I think DOT meeting, does DOT have a September date?
Oh,
That's
I'm
the DOT
I'm probably
meeting.
confusing
That's
the
it, you
two.
were both of them.
Sorry.
So, yes, yeah. So that's it on that. And then Mass DOT has a virtual-only public hearing on the roundabout at Route 49 and Putnam. This is the 49 upgrades, not to be confused with the 20 and 131 roundabout. So that's a virtual public hearing, and we have that out on our pages, and people can access it if they would like. So those are the updates.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. And I think we're about a minute short here, but it should be good. We're good now. 6:35, public hearing.
Okay. The Select Board of the Town of Sturbridge will consider an application for a beer and wine beverage license for Iron Club LLC located at 365 Main Street. The application will be considered at a meeting of the Select Board on July 20, 2026, 6:35 p.m. at Veterans Memorial Hall, second floor, Town Hall, located at 308 Main Street, Sturbridge, Mass. Any person wishing to be heard on this matter should appear at that time.
Great, so we now have a public hearing. Is there anyone from the audience who would like to speak regarding the matter?
So, yep. Yep, come on up.
Come on. Just introduce yourself in the microphone for the people at home and all that fun stuff.
Hello? Push it.
Yep, you should
Nope,
be
you're
on. If
good.
it's
You can
green,
just-
you're good. You're
yep.
good.
How you doing? I appreciate you guys taking the time. My name is Greg Pettis. I'm a resident on New Boston Road. Looking forward to opening something to enhance the recreational footprint within Sturbridge for friends, family, and all. So thank you for taking the time.
Absolutely, thank you. So you're looking for a beer and wine license? Is that the, and any of the board have any comment, or questions for the
I don't think
applicant?
there were any concerns that signed off.
This is for the simulated golf, right? Mhm. Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with it.
No, no, no. Good, I'm hearing none from the audience. Do we want to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? All right, public hearing is closed, and do we have a motion on the application?
I'll make a motion to approve the application for a beer and wine beverage license for Iron Club LLC located at 365 Main Street.
Yep. We have a motion, a second, all in favor?
When are you hoping to open? I've been asked this by a lot of residents, so.
Thank you. It's a great question. I'm looking forward to seeing hopefully everybody there. September, I think, is probably going to be a soft into the fall. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you.
Good, okay. Good luck with everything. Thank you.
God bless, take care.
Thank you.
All right, next up, department reports. Chief, you want to come?
So all I have is one, it'll be quick. For May, we answered 2,390 calls for service. We had 65 arrests. 6 of them were OUI, 2 were drug arrest. We had 39 incident reports, 21 motor vehicle crashes. Issued 203 either citations, warnings, or warnings. Assisted 54 motorists, responded to 61 alarms, did 546 business checks, served 16 209As, went to 11 domestics, 5 burglaries or larcenies. We requested mutual aid 10 times, we responded out of town 10 times. The numbers, as you can see, total year-to-date, 10,051, and compared to 2025, 15,234. If you looked at the arrests from 2026, you'll see 265 compared to 268, and the incident numbers are pretty close, which tells you, as I explained last time, for calls for service, we're training people. Those numbers get diluted a little bit when you get 2 people in one car opposed to everybody in their own vehicle, because if you look down at the business checks, our business checks alone are down 1,544 compared to last year, because that's usually somebody's in their own vehicle going out and doing those checks. So
Why the citations are down too?
that's, yeah, because
Okay, that's why.
we'd be
Got it.
2 officers in one car opposed to them each in their own vehicle doing their own thing. So that's for the numbers. The department operation, pretty much business as usual. We did have the 250th Family Fun Day event held on the town common. That was a successful event, pretty good turnout. We had a public safety day at Tantascwa. That was a really good turnout. The students really liked it. We had the sheriff's office, state police, Sturbridge Police, the fire department. I believe the state police landed their helicopter there as well. There were 6 crashes between Walmart Plaza and Extra Mart with 1 injury. We installed 4 child safety seats. The boat patrols, we patrolled Big Allen, Long Pond. We had 9 inspections conducted. Training as usual. 2 calls at Burgess, traffic complaint and an ambulance call. 3 calls at the junior high. 1 was an alarm call, 1 was erratic operation, 1 was an assist a citizen. And senior high, we had 7 calls. We had an accident, ambulance, 2 ambulance calls, 2 traffic control complaints, 1 investigation, and assist a citizen. That's the report.
Any questions for the
I
chief?
just have a quick one, it's unrelated. So I had a resident ask me a couple weeks ago why she occasionally will see detail being done by officers from another town.
Because we can't fill them ourselves.
That's what I said, you know, it's always under SCBA offered to ours first.
Yep.
And then if they're on vacation or they can't do it. I think I gave her the correct answer,
That's
but,
correct, yeah.
I just wanted to say it for the record that it does go to our officers
Goes
first.
through all of our officers, part-time officers, and then it will go out of town to see if we can still get those details filled.
Right, okay. Yep, that's what I thought, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, next up, building department.
Good
How you
evening.
doing?
Hello.
All right. So just a brief rundown of the 6,000 plus permits we had open, we were able to close half of them. We're still working on that. So as of April 29th, we were able to implement the online payment system again. That's been very helpful, very successful. Between April and June, we've collected 22,854,000 in online payments, which makes it a lot easier for contractors and homeowners to be able to pay online than we had some contractors traveling like almost an hour sometimes to come in and make a payment, so it's very convenient.
You mind if I ask a question on that?
Yeah, sure.
So when someone applies for a permit online, can you communicate right through like a portal with them online? And can
Correct.
they- That's nice.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
everything's tracked right where the permit is? and
Correct.
That's helpful.
Yeah, after they apply, Michelle will send them an invoice, and they can pay the invoice online or mail a check, bring it in, whatever they prefer. But a lot of people are taking advantage of the online payment system.
Yeah, that's nice.
Total of 337 permits were issued between April and June 30th, April 1st and June 30th, compared to 343 permits for the same period in 2025. So the permit activity is staying pretty consistent. There's a breakdown in your report of all the types of permits and the numbers issued.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I won't bore you with all that. Annual 110 inspections are, we started doing the schools, churches, and hotels to get a jump on them. There's so many of them, we're usually scrambling towards the end of the year to get them done, but we started them a little earlier. So me and Lieutenant Ash go out jointly and perform them inspections. Commercial projects that we have ongoing, 660 Main Street is a new construction building. They just applied for the interior tenant fit out. They're working on weather tighten the building at the moment. Then they'll be starting on the interior. Newberry Estates just started Phase 2. Walmart is undergoing an interior renovation. Just pretty much doing a facelift through the whole interior of the building, remodeling, updating, modernizing. Stop and Shop just completed an interior renovation. I did an inspection there today and signed off on that. It was the same scenario, just a facelift to the interior. And the Iron Club, as you know, is under construction. They just passed their framing inspection, and they're in the finishing stage. Hall Road Eye Care was issued a occupancy permit today. It's a new eye care facility up on Hall Road. Cracker Barrel is completing some parking lot renovations, which will include some ADA upgrades. Public Safety Complex is doing a phased exterior maintenance project, which includes 3 window dormers, and then they'll continue to do 3 at a time until they're all updated. 57 Main Street, Suite 2, construction is underway for a new dental office. The project includes an interior fit-out of the tenant space to accommodate a new dental practice. That's pretty much all I have. If you have any questions?
Do you have any questions from the board?
No, I think it's great that you cleared up like roughly 3,000 older permits. Do you ever get complaints on older permits that weren't closed from?
Constantly.
Oh, constantly? Oh, you do. And so when you get the complaint, you work on that one?
Yeah, specifically.
As a priority.
She's, yeah, as a priority, but she's continuing, to slowly hammer out.
There have been
So
some
if they were to
critical-
sell their house and the other, when it was built, and you didn't have that permit closed, that would have been a cloud on the sale?
That's where it would come up.
Okay.
yeah.
That's when
what I
they're coming up, or we have a case where there was a lawsuit,
Yeah.
and we're not a party to the lawsuit, but they need the history of the permit trail.
Okay,
And so they had to
so
take
that
that.
rises to the top of your
This is a really
priority
important
list.
project to clean up. I mean, 6,000 of them outstanding, sitting in the basement was just,
Wow.
we were floored.
Yeah.
Michelle's been working really hard.
Yeah,
on
she
it.
really has done a yeoman's work on this.
Are you putting those old permits in the new system too, or are you just kind of closing them out paper?
They're closed out in the system
The system,
also,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, if they're not in the system, if sometimes documents weren't uploaded, so she's uploading everything and then closing everything out, making notes of everything in the
They
system.
are in the system. They're recorded now in the system.
Her and Janae's been very helpful also, helping her through that stuff.
Good.
Good. Okay, great. If no other questions from the board, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, Bill.
Have a
God
good night.
bless.
Thank you. All right. Robin? you wanna-
So I have a couple of things. I'll start with the 250th, and then I have one thing that's not on there, but we have several people here related to it from our opioid group that I want to share as well. And then we have one issue regarding the lake. So we'll start with the 250th. I just want to officially thank people who were on the committee and a few of our staff and our team. For our volunteers, we wanted to do just a small certificate. Unfortunately, most of them couldn't make it. Mr. Turbo just at the last minute said he couldn't make it. But let me read to you all, it's a certificate. And it says, Town of Sturbridge, 250th Anniversary of American Independence, Certificate of Appreciation presented to. This certificate is given with grateful recognition of your dedication, service, and leadership as a volunteer member of the Sturbridge 250th Anniversary Committee. Your efforts help create a memorable celebration honoring our nation's past and inspiring our community's future. With sincere appreciation and gratitude, we salute you. We could not have done it without you. So I'll read the names, and I think I might be only Sue here, but that's okay. So we had Derek Heidemann. I don't know if Derek's here. So Derek was our OSV representative. He was on loan to us from Jim. Sue Rabbit. Sue is not actually, come on up, Sue. Sue is not actually on the 250th committee. She stepped in to run our parade. So.
Fabulous
the
job.
kudos
Yeah, really
to
good
Sue for stepping in and pulling together what really turned out to be an absolutely beautiful event. Thank you, Sue.
Great job.
Thank you.
We had Mr. Hollis Turnbow, and Mr. Turnbow actually designed, some of you may see the Canvas 250th bags, he made those. So they're available for sale at the senior center. I think they're $20 for the bags. They're a fundraiser, obviously, nobody's making one. Sandra Gibson Quigley, many of you may know Sandy. She's very involved in Sturbridge Tourism Association and the library board. She really helped with STA to assist with some funding and whatnot for the banners around town. So Sandy was a great contributor to this. Obviously Leslie Wong, she was my staff leader on this project. And she just did a tremendous job. It was like herding cats some days, but she did it. I did mention last week, Lieutenant Bateman pretty much ran the traffic operation for the whole event, coordinated a lot of the public safety. And Heather's team and Jacqueline, particularly Brian Kerboy, As many of you know, he's just such a part of this town. He's worked here forever, and really took tremendous pride in being a part of this. As did some of our younger DPW guys who even on the Family Fun Day showed up, volunteered, brought a truck, young kids basically just coming, taking pride in the town and the country. So it was really very exciting. And then we did have 2 board members. We had Megan Mooney. Megan ran the festival, was the lead on the festival on the Common. And then we had Kadian Phillips and Mary Lou, who were on our committee as well. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Rich, Mary Lou's husband, who unfortunately was not with us to see through the work that he had started, but he did tremendous work, and he'd pop by my office and say, hey, I got a list. And he'd say, this is what we're doing. And it could not have gotten off the ground without Rich and Mary Lou. So we're very grateful. Thank you. I'll get these to you guys after. On another note, to go from that, this is not an easy one to segue. Now we're going to go to the opioid support, Sturbridge opioid support. I guess it's all about community in whatever form we're doing it. Couple announcements. We have established a $500 book scholarship essay contest. If you look at my Sturbridge Town Administrator webpage, and it asks, it's for a graduating Sturbridge resident senior. They could be homeschool, they could be at Bay Path or Chatasca, but they have to be a Sturbridge resident. We're giving 4 $500 book awards. They can either base it on their own experience, a book they have read, or one of 3 books, I believe, that we have offered for suggestion. And it's to talk about the impact of addiction on their lives. And it also includes a portion of that on how to change it, how to fix it, how to make it better. And so the essays are due to my email on August 20th, and then the team for the opioid committee is going to review them and select the top 4 for a $500. It's a post-secondary award, so it can either go to books, or if they go into a technical school, toward tools, so they'll just have to present reimbursement invoices. So anybody who has a graduating senior, whether homeschool, Bay Path, or Tantascwa, is eligible for that.
Now, when you say graduating, they already graduated?
Yes,
Or they're going to
yes,
be
they graduated
a
and
senior?
going on to post-secondary. So we'll be presenting this on August 31st. So we're a little short on the timeline this year because we're getting it off the ground, but.
Did that go to the schools in the spring when they were still there?
No, we did not get it out to them. They knew we were working on that. We had tried to partner on some things with the schools, and it had not been tremendously successful. So we decided to just sort of go solo out, and next year, we'll put it out through the schools if they're interested in it.
So did enough applicants,
I don't know, we just put it out.
Oh, you just put it out?
That's why I'm announcing it.
Because it's summer and.
That's why I'm announcing it. So the other thing I would like to bring up tonight, and we have several members of the committee, and it's actually a good chance for me to recognize them. I see in the back Ray Marsh. Ray is from Recovery Centers. Ray was brought to us through Lucy Del Rossi, who is our embedded social support. What's your actual title? Co-response clinician in our police department. So Ray comes to all of our meetings to provide a lot of insight on where the needs are on the recovery side of things. As I've talked to you all about before, we took an approach that we wanted to look at spending our money on education and recovery resources. And Ray is a great resource to us for that. He's connected me to a lot of the people like in Blackstone who are doing some regional work, and really brought a lot of information to the table from the field itself and living and working in that field. Lucy, of course, is on the committee, Chief, and Sergeant Jansen's just been invaluable to the committee as well. Sturbridge Rec, Andrew sits on the committee with us. We felt it was important to have recreation. And Chief Grasso and Jen Ash. And many of you may have seen Jen, she's been out there at the table with materials, and Becky Plimpton. So we've actually run programs at the library. So we've tried to cover a lot of ranges where people might not otherwise come forward to talk about addiction issues, but might find sort of safe places to go. They might go to a library, they see brochures and materials. We ran programs there, we've brought in speakers so far, so it's a good chance for me to give you an update on what we're doing. But more importantly, tonight, I want to share with you that we're going to be engaging in a trial program. You have a memo in your packet on this. And it's called GAP, Guided Addiction Access Points. And it was started, and anybody jump in and correct me if I'm wrong, it was started by a recovery coach that worked for us. Matt worked for us, worked directly with our police department, primarily on emergency cases. So the cops would pick somebody up, had nowhere to put the person, or they had OD'd, and what were they gonna do right after, and follow up on overdoses, and Matt was the person who did that. Matt was operating under state grant, I believe, which eventually ran out. He then, with a group of people, founded a nonprofit that is called GAP. And GAP is willing to come in and do a six-week trial, I believe, I have the dates here, with the town to serve pretty much as recovery coach. In this case, though, it expands beyond just the night that the police call and say, we have someone. If they're working with our town, a Sturbridge resident, when we put this information out, can actually call them and saying, we're gonna go do an intervention, but we don't know what to do with the person once we, if they admit they need help, now what do we do? It can be something like that. It can be through the police. If you guys wanna jump in, please feel free to expand and jump in. And so they're going to offer a 6-week trial to us as a service. If we feel the service is benefiting us, we can look to continue. We have to look at procurement and all of that, but they're sort of a specialty group. It's a nonprofit. Sarge, you gave us some numbers.
Yes, so from June 16th to July 16th, we had 14 calls for service where someone could have used that program that we're talking about. Of those calls, 3 of them was the same person, and 2 of them was a juvenile using substance. So, yes, I highly believe this could be used. I think our hotels, generally, that's where they come from, and the problem with that is hard to follow up once they leave the hotel. So this immediate access from this program would be very helpful.
And we talked a lot about the fact that a lot of times the residents in the hotels may not be Sturbridge residents, and if we were funding this with our opioid support money, but I think we believe that generally for the community, if somebody, even if they don't have to be hospitalized, if they leave the hotel and they're wandering up and down Route 20, or they're living homeless in the parking lot at Walmart, which we've had situations of, that in the end it benefits the whole community to have this service available. But again, Sturbridge residents can pick up the phone and call and say, I need help, my son needs help, I don't know what to do. A kid could call. So we're kind of excited to do this trial. I think Ray supports it, and as I said, Ray's like right in the industry every day. Ray, if you want to.
Yeah, I would just say,
Come on. Yeah, you can't get away sitting in the back.
As somebody that is in recovery myself, I've worked with Matt for a long time too as well, in making sure that, when you have somebody in recovery that's actually doing these, outreaches with the police, they're more apt to take that help and feel comfortable with that person. And Matt and I work really closely to get people beds right away, so they're not like waiting on wait lists, and making sure that they're in a safe treatment facility, and hopefully not have something happen, from a legal perspective, by getting them into the right place that way. So I'm in full support of it. I do work for Recovery Centers of America, so we have beds, but sometimes they go to us, sometimes go to someone else. But we do. Matt and I work really closely to get them the beds when they do. So I'm in full support, and I think it would just only enhance and help the town for sure. And it obviously probably some of the best use of the money too as well. And it is being done in some of the other towns too. I think they're doing Grafton, Worcester.
Yep.
I forget what other towns, but there's some other towns
Grafton
that
and
already
Worcester.
do
That was
it.
making my
Yes.
question, that
Yeah.
they offer services in other
So
towns in
slow but
Worcester County.
Slow but sure, they're ramping up. As I said, there was sort of a newly formed nonprofit when Matt's grant ran out from the state. So instead of dropping it, he sort of just established this nonprofit with a few other people, and they're beginning to gain some traction. Again, we have to go through procurement before we hire anybody fully, but they certainly, if they're willing to come and give us a 6-week trial on it and see, and obviously we knew just in 4 or 5 weeks, 14 calls. Let's see what happens. So we were pleased. I just wanted you all to be aware of the program, the availability of it, and, if you talk to people or you hear of people, we will be putting the GAP flyer out that's in your packet at the library. We will put it at the hotels.
Coffee shops.
Coffee shops.
They're packed. The
Yeah.
coffee shops are packed.
And what we talked about is that Sturbridge is the type of town where addiction is not the same as it might be in Worcester, where you literally see it on the street. but addiction hides in homes, and it gets cloaked in, quite often in middle-class communities, it gets cloaked very well. And the stigma that goes with it makes people not want to talk about it. So yes, having it in a coffee house where someone can just kind of quietly grab it and go look at it somewhere, absolutely, anywhere we can get the word out.
When is
There
this?
is another nonprofit that also, so it's the COSEP grant that it was under before, but there are other nonprofits that also are servicing other towns doing the same thing that GAP is doing, so it's not a new
Yeah.
thing.
When is this 6-week trial period going to begin?
We wanted to bring it to you first, I think the 31st, is it July 31st? The end of this month, very end of this month.
And the
into-
data we would get back from them, I think, will be very useful and a little bit more enhanced, it sounds like.
Yeah, so they're gonna gather how many calls, where they go, where they send people, basically the not long-term success rate, obviously, but how it worked in our community and how much there was a need for it. Because part of what, if we were to contract with them, part of the determination of how much is, how much do we need them? You know, what is the need here, what is the use, and we'll see. But it's a nice way for us to start and test it without expending any of the funds and see where we're at.
So when police respond to a call, then,
You're gonna have to come up.
Sergeant Jansen.
Sergeant, I get out of coming
Sergeant
up.
Jansen. So when police respond to a call, whether it's at a hotel or a restaurant and everything, you use your discretion in order to determine whether or not this program would
So the
benefit that
14
person?
calls that I'm talking about, generally they go right to the hospital. When they're under the influence of a substance, we don't take any chances, we force them to the hospital. And the frustrating part about that is the hospital does their thing, and maybe an hour, hour and a half, they're right back on the streets. Probably not as high, but they still have no resources available to them, where this would bring them to rehab. And that's why I like that it's immediate. It's not, all right, we'll schedule,
Right.
down the road another time when they're already gone. It's generally the homeless population. But
So do they go to the hospital first and then the hospital sends them to this program? Or
we
do,
force them to go to the hospital, be
and
ambulance.
then you,
And then they either sign themselves out, this hospital can talk to the hospital, but generally they're right back on the street.
We would,
no, I
we
get
would
that,
give
but
them.
you would give
we
them this
give the
information when you
contact.
send
Yes,
them off?
Yes.
Oh, got it.
The goal, and the name of it, the acronym, really is exactly what it is. It fills that gap between that initial immediate detox, and then what do you do from there? Because that's just the beginning. And a lot of people do not have the resources or wherewithal to know where to go from there. And this will help. But again, if they're non-residents and it happens in Sturbridge, they're gonna wander back here. Or if if they're not hospitalized, even if you go and it's, for whatever reason, they're not so bad that they're hospitalized, it's a disturbance and you realize somebody's high, but they're not, it's not a call for an overdose. Officers still could hand that to someone and say, maybe you need some help. So the option's there to just get anybody we can.
And this is just for opioid addiction?
Nope.
Oh, it can be
Nope.
for alcohol
All
addiction as well?
addiction, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All
We've, the opioid money, we have been fortunate, they have given us the latitude to use it generally on addiction, because there are so many
Right.
addictions, comorbidities with it, that it's, they don't make us carve it out.
Okay, so it's alcohol abuse as well?
Any of you, absolutely.
Any drug?
Yep.
And it might actually reduce some of the ED stuff too as well, because, they might just be ready to go to treatment and we can get them right in from the house. They might not always have to go to the hospital. In some cases they do, like Sergeant said.
Yeah, I mean, if we get someone who calls before they get to that point, we keep the beds free for the people who need it, because beds are a problem.
Great.
Nice.
So anyway, just an update on that. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, and thank you all for coming tonight. And I'm glad we had some of the team here, and, everybody works for us that's here right now, but at least Ray, you got a chance to meet Ray. Ray doesn't miss a meeting. He's been just extraordinarily helpful to us. So, thank you. And then, the last thing under my updates is we have a complaint from 10 Birch Street regarding a dock placement on 12 Birch Street. So,
Great, do you want to
so,
open up the complaint?
Birch Street, yeah. I'm from 12. So who's the complainant? Okay, so they'll have the complainant come up first, so.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so come on up or whoever's the complainant can come up first.
Yeah.
And share a little bit. This has to do, so if you recall, the protocol is, we don't actively permit, we have parameters. If somebody files some type of a complaint, you would review the complaint, The board does have latitude with the parameters to make variances and exceptions, so that's why both parties would have to be here. We have the complainant if there's an exception, and then the board can take that under advisement, take consideration as to whether or not there's merit to allowing the exception or not. So just to give everybody an idea of how that process works.
Can I sit up there? I don't hear well.
Yeah, that's fine, absolutely. Just be nice to each other. Everybody be nice. Okay.
So, okay, do you want to kind of tell us what's going on a little bit? And-
Yes, my neighbor Jamie here, I'm not sure if it's a dock or not. That's kind of why I made the petition or the request or whatever. A couple of things. So I'm not sure if it's a dock, one. Two, and I'm not sure how close it is to the, water line. I don't have a dock, and I don't have boats. I use the area for swimming. So not really clear on how close it comes. I tried to look it up on the GIS, and I couldn't really tell. So I just thought I would get some clarification on that. And as I said, I'm not sure if it's a dock or not. It's rather unsightly, and I don't know if, I'm not sure the type of dock or if it's a boat. I'm not really sure what it is.
So it's a boat lift.
Yeah, okay, so it's.
So I'm not sure how high that's gonna go up. I already have a lot of obstructed views as it is, and, I want to maintain the peace and be a good neighbor. That was just kind of like, oh my God, and it's pretty ugly. So, so I just wanted to get clarification, basically.
Okay, so just so I can kind of, your concern is the lift, and your concern is it over the property line?
Yes, I don't know if it's considered a dock. I'm not sure what it is,
Okay.
to be honest with you.
Okay, all right, and can you just state your name and address
Oh,
for the record,
I'm
too?
sorry, Cindy Fugere, 10 Birch Street.
Thank you.
Sorry.
All right, and I'm assuming it's your property that's next door that's
Correct.
holding the boat, and it's a boat lift, and you want to just kind of talk about it a little bit? and-
Yeah, so my name is James Wiseman. I live at 12 Birch Street. I've been on the lake for 36 years. I have some photos of before and afters. The current boat has been parked there this is the third season. I've had a ski boat there on the property with a lift since 1991. My kids grew up, got married, so I got rid of the ski boat. Now I have grandkids, and they're all into skiing and tubing, and I want to have a ski boat, which I bought, and I want to have a lift for it. I believe all of this is on my property. I have photos. I want to be a good neighbor. I've been very good to her. I shovel her driveway. I have cut her grass in the past. My kids helped her get her grill going. I put her lawnmower together. So I just want to state that I'm a very helpful neighbor to everybody that's around. And can I pass these out to you
Of
guys?
course, yeah, why don't you bring them up? So- And these are new, Robin, we don't have these?
I don't believe we have
These
those.
are the current photos, and these are 1991 up to 2018, I believe. Yep.
And you've had this current lift in the property for how long?
A week.
Okay, just got in,
Yes.
okay, yep.
Actually, somebody down the lake was moving it, and I was interested, so I don't believe any of what I've done there is on my neighbor's property. It was very unsightly when I brought it there, and I tried to explain what was gonna happen. 90% of it goes in the water, and it stays in the water. And there's some verticals sticking up out of the water that you can see, and those, you'll be able to see those.
Yep.
So you didn't have that for just a couple years in between, is that what happened? So for a few years in between, you didn't have it, it was there before, and then you didn't have a boat, and now you have a boat again?
I had a boat lift since I moved there, and I
Okay.
got rid of it in 2018.
Okay, and now you have
And
it
then another
back?
generation has come along.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question, just so I understand it better? How long have you been neighbors?
2017.
Okay, so that other boat lift was...
It was never there when I lived there.
It was there.
it-
Probably
okay.
overlapped.
Hold on, so you
wasn't.
you're saying it was there?
She took over the property, and I sold the boat lift. So she came from California. She may have missed the boat lift
I was
coming out.
going to ask if you had problems with the other boat lift, but you didn't even see the other boat lift.
No, and the boat that he has now, the motorboat, I don't have an issue with
I
it.
know, it's the lift.
It's the lift.
I get
right,
it.
right.
And can I just, it's the site of the lift, or is it just?
It's very unsightly. It's all
You
like,
can see what it looks like.
it's all.
Yeah, no,
I mean, every window on my property that faces the lake, even on the front and the side, it's the view, that's my view, is this it kind of looks like a modern art exhibit.
I mean, it's summertime on Cedar Lake. Some of you may know that. It's a little bit of chaos, maybe. There's jet skis, there's rafts, there's trampolines, there's everything on the lake. And when the kids are around, the police come sometime because it gets crazy. It's just the way it is for 3 months, and people have their toys and whatever it takes to support their toys. And I'm not looking to upset anybody. I just want to have what I have on my property and protect it. That's what a boat lift does. A ski boat, you may know, I don't know, but a ski boat leaks on purpose. And this keeps the boat, I only keep it up a tiny bit because I know it bothers my neighbor. So I have no intention of bringing it 6 feet out of the water, ever. But that's what a lift does. It stops the boat from taking on water, and you can see the photos.
So for you, the lift is effectively what you would need for a dock. You can't use it, you wouldn't use a traditional dock, you would use the lift instead.
No, the dock is next to the lift. I actually have a plot plan of my.
Oh, okay, no, there it is.
Okay,
Yeah, no, I see it, I see it, yep.
Do you have a dock as well?
I do.
Okay.
I have 2
So-
docks, actually.
Okay, do our regulations cover boat lifts?
No.
I'm not familiar, I don't live on a lake.
No, that's
Lucky
okay.
you.
There's 24 boat lifts on the lake.
Okay, I know our dock regulations specifically relate to docks. Do we,
Yeah, docks, moorings.
Moorings.
Rafts,
But
but there
does
is
it-
no reference to boat lifts.
so we don't have any reference to boat lifts either?
And they have been allowed.
Wait, no, I know that, but I don't know that we have regulations
I
that
think
govern that.
the only thing here, looking at it quickly, is, the only thing here that I would see where there's a potential on a variance needed is the second dock. So theoretically, by the policy, you could have 1 dock or 1 raft. In this case, you have 2 docks. So that would be, and you certainly can request from the board, if it's in front of your property, a variance for that, but,
I'm familiar.
yeah, so that would be the only, the lift is just not mentioned. It's silent on that.
And you don't have an issue with the second dock? You're specifically here for the lift?
Right. And you know, as Jamie said, he's been a good neighbor. I've tried to be a good neighbor and try to respect each other. It's nothing to do with Jamie or his wonderful family. It's just the lift. And so I just wanted to have some
Now, you said
clarification.
it can go 6 feet up? Is that what you
The
said
boat
at its
can come right out of the
maximum?
water, but I don't do that, and I don't intend to do that.
Is it, so sometimes is it low enough where you don't find it offensive, or do you?
Like right now.
No matter what the height is, you,
Okay.
because I feel like it can go up and down, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and so when it's down,
Well, I don't know if it's connected, because it has to be, there's an electronic piece to it, which I don't think has been connected. So I don't know how far up it's gonna go. Prior to the lift, it was fine. It wasn't, obstructing my view, it's fine, we're gonna get boats. And I have no problem with, I've lived on, not this lake, but grew up on lakes, so I'm pretty familiar with people having water toys and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how far it's gonna lift up. It's hard to tell until, you actually see it. And again, you saw the picture of the 4 posts that are, I don't know how tall they are.
I tried to explain, when I got it, it was unsightly. It wasn't adjusted correctly for the depth of the water, and I said, I've only had it for 2 weeks. So I've got it down. I told her I would move it, try to get away from it's not on her property, but I want to get it further away from her property. And I want to do the right thing here, but I want to do what I want to do. It's my property, and I've been there a long time. I had this in the past. I had it from 1991 to 2018. We missed a little window there, and I have it again. And I intend on using it, and I'm not going to be offensive about it. I understand she swims there. I respect that.
Did you, I totally get it. Did you already move it, or you will move it?
I'm working on it. It's a little bit of a work in progress, and I explained that.
So,
Can I do have one other, does the dock lift come out, is that considered temporary, the lift?
Yes.
It does come out, so it's temporary, okay.
Well, most of the stuff for the winter, the water goes
Yeah,
down, and it
yeah.
gets moved up to the walls,
Yeah.
or it goes onto land, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
no, I only asked because we have if it's permanent, it actually falls under a state
I
regulation.
don't think you can do permanent.
No, well, not if you really can't unless you go through conservation and the state. Yeah, you'd have to go through the state, so.
You know, I just don't know if this boat lift is really in our purview, because, I mean, these boats are expensive, a lift keeps them safe, keeps them out of the water, they're common around town, they're common on all the lakes.
And we don't regulate it.
It's a homeowner's choice if they want to lift
our
their boat out of the water, it's
Right.
not.
We
so
don't
that's why I
regulate it.
started with our boat, you know, we have regulations for moorings and
Right.
ramps and I'm
Also,
sorry,
not
docks,
like-
and you can come in and ask for a variance if it needs to be a few feet longer because it's not deep enough wherever it is. But we actually don't even have a policy on boat lifts, and if it's entirely on your neighbor's property, it just strikes me.
It's gonna be more on my property,
It
it's
just
just I need
strikes
a
me
little
that
bit of
he's
time.
willing, right, it just strikes me that he's willing, you know, to work with you. First of all, we don't have any policy on it. And also, I think your neighbor is being really, you know, flexible. He's trying.
I'm a good neighbor.
And so, you know, it's kind of premature. Maybe when he moves it, you may not even have an issue, and when he lowers it. But, you know, at this point,
Well, I
I
think
think
it
that
is
it's going to
gonna
be
get-
up to the two of you to try to like
Yeah,
reconcile your concerns and your freedom to do what you want on your own land. Because our regulations don't cover it. And maybe in the future, we can have a policy on boat, I don't know, but.
Well, I don't want to be a
at least
bad guy,
tonight,
so
we don't-
I'm going to try to make things a little more presentable,
Right.
and I'm going to try to slide it a little bit more onto like it's not on hers, but I'm going to try to get it more on mine, and
That
if
sounds,
that's not good, I don't know what.
No, I'm fine with that. I just didn't have, you know, what the clarification is, and it's very vague, so I just wanted to get a better understanding of that. And
I didn't get that.
I wanted clarification on.
I said I wanted to get more clarification
You
on,
just had to ask me, that's all.
Well, from the town, now you both know that our regulations don't
So
cover.
in that
it.
email, just so you understand, ma'am, when your email comes into us, to my office, because they're the harbor masters, if there's a question on whether or not he's violating any rule, it has to come through this process. So just so you know, that's why this process happens.
And it doesn't sound, because we don't have regulations that govern that.
right.
And
So that's, you know, I think where Jamie and I
right.
I
think it's-
understand his perspective, and I'm
Right.
not disagreeing with that. My perspective is it a dock, yes or no? No, it's not. Okay, I appreciate that, thank you. And, you know, just some concerns about the view and how it looks and how it obstructs the view and all that kind of stuff. And
It
so,
sounds like
but
he's
I've
willing
already
to
talked
work
to
with you.
Jamie about that, so,
Right. It sounds like it, you know, to me, this is going to end up being a private neighborly
That would be
exchange.
much better. I really didn't want to be here tonight, nothing personal.
Well, now, we know, but everybody watching has clarification,
and I
and so it
didn't-
was useful. It was,
I did not want to be here either. I was just raising the
neither.
question.
No, I'm kidding.
Now that we have that settled, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
but,
Good
you know,
luck.
to the extent, you know, it sounds like you're willing to work together. We've had other neighbors on other lakes, and they were not nearly as cooperative as the two of you seem to be, so I'm sure you'll be able to
I
work it
just
out.
want everybody to be happy.
Yeah, that's why we let you
Best of
sit
my
next to
ability.
each other. No.
Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your summer.
Enjoy your grant,
Can I have my pictures?
enjoy your.
They're down the line.
This is the government where we take your stuff. Thank you.
Take that as a compliment.
Yes.
That's good, that's good. All right, and then, oh, what was that?
I thought I passed out two,
Two sets, there were two.
Oh, hold on, right here.
thank you.
Look at that, I am taking your
Thank you,
stuff.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless, take
All
care.
right, action items.
All right. Consideration and possible action on planning department position title change from administrative assistant to land use and development coordinator.
So you may recall, you may not recall, actually, last year, we did a little bit of an update on Janae's job description last year to try to better capture a lot of what she does. At the time, we didn't even go to the full extent of that. We did some type of an adjustment on her with the step scale, but we didn't look at a grade change or anything like that. As Jean is transitioning out and Aiden is transitioning in, we started to really look, this is the time when you look at the structure of a department, not about the people who are in it, but about what the structure of the department should be. So, in this case, we've worked well with a planner and an administrative assistant, but that administrative assistant has grown far beyond that and still has more that she could even do with a new, less experienced planner coming in. If we were starting with a blank slate, what would we want Janae's position to be? And it is not administrative assistant. So what we are presenting to you is whether it was Janae or if we were hiring tomorrow, which I hope we are not because we want Janae to go nowhere. We are looking at changing that to a land use and development coordinator. We don't feel that we're the position to hire an assistant planner or an associate planner. Our town doesn't necessarily need that. The planner should have the technical skills to be the planner. But as you heard Bill say, for example, Janae helps Michelle with the permitting. Janae trains everybody across the board on Acela, right down to even working with my office with the licensing. She sort of has become the admin to all of the land use divisions. And in that sense, she's more of a coordinator than simply assisting Jean in what Jean needs. And Jean, you're welcome to just chime in at any point. But so we put this in front of personnel to take a look at. Personnel reviewed it. They graded it. At the end of the meeting, they decided to propose to grade it at a 5 and call it the land use and development coordinator. I fully support this. I think this is the right time to do it. I try very hard not to give positions, and sometimes we have no choice, but I try very hard not to give positions because of the people who are in it. I try to ask myself, if this person was not in it tomorrow, how would I advertise this job? And this is how I would want to advertise the job, because this is the skill set I would want. And that grade reflects what the recruitment would have to be to do that. So, Jean, do you want to? Jean's here for questions, comments, anything she might like to add.
I mean, I can kind of jump in and just say that I agree, and, you know, I see that Personnel Committee voted 3-0 in favor of it, and, you know, if we have any other questions from the board.
I have a couple of comments too. So it is a good time, only in that we do have, I think he's going to do a great job, but he doesn't have the level of experience that Jean does coming into this. So it would be good. I know we don't talk about specific people and jobs, but it's good to have somebody
yes.
with experience to kind of aid in the transition. So I do support it as well. I just have to ask this, just because I have so many residents all the time thinking our taxes are too high. We're not going to, in a year, request an administrative assistant in addition to this position.
I won't be here, but.
I know you won't, but I mean, I just want to.
have no plans of adding staff. So, you know, I tried to create an administrative position over there, then we made it part-time.
Right.
It did not work. People were not giving that person the work. What that said to me is that if everybody is really stepping up and doing their jobs, because at that point I had people who were no longer here telling me that there was too much work, they couldn't do their work, the dynamic has completely changed over there, so that right now, what would have been that part-time person's work is pretty much what Janae has taken, but at a much higher level. Because now it's not just coordinating. She does the work when someone comes in. If somebody's not at inspections, if Michelle's not at her desk, Janae can actually start the process or get them sort of rolling a little bit, or answer a phone or pick up. So she's picking up that extra work and doing work on a much higher level than what her title currently is. So no, there are
That was my
absolutely
answer. The
no
long and short of it is
plans.
no, you're not looking to hire an administrative assistant
We
as well.
are not adding positions.
So I am supportive of it as well. What kind of salary change will this position be from an admin to?
We didn't talk salary
Yeah,
at
so
all.
it depends which step she would go to. I don't think.
That go to personnel to determine the
No,
staff?
so what happens, no, that's mine.
Okay.
What I basically will do is, because she got a relatively significant adjustment when we redid the job description a little bit last time within the same grade scale, but what that did is it actually put her at the top of the scale, so she maxes out and might get just the regular wage increase, but she doesn't get what everybody else is getting. So she almost will eventually start falling behind. What I will likely do is move her to a similar spot on the higher grade right now, but that gives her steps. So she might get a small increase when it moves up the
But it opens up
ladder,
the door for
but
her
it opens
future
up the door in the
increases.
future. So it doesn't impact our budget as much immediately. It will, and when we look at the overall budget of that department, there's a significant salary difference in the planner's salary when you have somebody retiring out after so many years and an incoming less experienced person, obviously. Yeah, well, I can't pay
No,
based
I
on
know.
age,
I know.
but I can on experience, and so you know that. And so I think with that little bit of difference and the fact that the level of, some of the responsibilities that Jean would not be able to give to an administrative assistant, I mean, even though Janae does help, theoretically, if it wasn't Jean and Janae, that work that I would expect a planner to be able to give to somebody would command a little more money.
Right.
And so I think that that's fair. So she'll go to a similar step, there might be a small increase, but then, as I said, it opens her up for several years more of growth steps.
Yeah, and then, Mary, I think if you go to page 2, you'll see that I left all the administrative duties in there.
Yes.
And I've only added, I've kind of really thought about her position, and really, I think what kind of gave us pause was interviewing and speaking to the candidates about what the assistant does, and some of the search committee saying, geez, Jean, maybe you should have upgraded the job description a while ago. But honestly, sometimes you just get so busy with trying to keep up with your work that you don't think about upgrading a job description. And, you know, over time, the workload has evolved, and, you know, different, I'll say, mandates and the way that we do things and the way technology has changed has made us both adapt as we go along. And so I just do that, and Janae's adapted right alongside of that. And it's time that, you know, we updated the job description. And so I think this is much more reflective of the type of work that she's actually doing on a daily basis.
And I see you still have administrative support. Frances is doing a beautiful job by us, so I don't want you to take, but you did take her away from us initially.
I did. But
Frances, you're doing a great job, but she started off as the admin for Select Board.
But it took me a while to get her. Jeff
She's
wouldn't let
willing
me
to
have
share
it.
that knowledge, which is.
No, it's good. I think it's the right time with you leaving to change that
And she's a
department.
great team player, and that position itself really should be a team position.
She is. She's a real asset to the department, but also to the building as well.
Cool, so,
Yeah, but I do agree with Robin's point to not, you know, change the title just because of one person.
That's right.
And then, so I just want to make sure that the job description here reflects somebody that we could actually get if she were to leave.
Yes.
you know,
And that's
so
why the
yeah.
grading was so important on this, not just because, it's not like I wanted to, you know, pardon the language, screw Janae out of salary.
Right.
But regardless of what, it needs to be at that higher level, because if Janae was not to stay,
Right.
I couldn't recruit for this without that grade change. We could not hire without it putting it at that level.
And the other side of it is you couldn't hire an admin and expect them to be able to do the work
No.
that they need to do.
Right.
The person would,
No, they'd drown. They would
Yeah.
drown, and frankly, they wouldn't stay because financially, they wouldn't be making the money
right.
to warrant that level of work and responsibility.
so if there's no other questions regarding the matter, I'm assuming you need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the planning department position title change from admin assistant to land use and development coordinator.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, all those in favor?
Thank you.
Thanks, Jean.
And thank you, Robin, for your support.
Thank you.
Next up, consideration and possible action on a sewer abatement request for 228 Roy Road, Fistale, Mass.
That's on hold. Table that one.
Table that one, great.
Yep, they could not, we just found out about it last week, and they weren't able to make it this week, so.
Okay. Good. Action item C, consideration and possible action on the issuance of a hawker and peddler license to Power Home Remodeling staff members Sean Nordstrom, Sam Ants, Jacob Monfalcon, Richard Sale, Thomas Murray, Dominic Capua, Pablo Rodriguez, Ryan McKellen, for a permit to expire December 31st, 2026.
There they are.
That's you guys. If you want to come up and introduce yourselves so the people at home know who you are, and
One of the guys.
Well, you're the only brave one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Jacob Monfalcone. I live in Marlborough, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
There they come. We've been around since 1992. I've been with the business for 2 years. We get permitted in every town or city that we go to, and I don't know if we've ever done work out here yet, so it'd be awesome too.
Awesome. So this is going to be your first time, and what are the hours that you're planning to go door to door?
We usually pitch 11 to 7.
11 to 7,
Yep.
okay. Yep.
And Sturbridge is not the largest town. I can't imagine we'd be here for more than a week. Yeah.
So it's a short term.
It'd be very short term, yeah. Maybe December, but I'm assuming we would just apply at the time.
Yep.
And we had all the checks, right, that we needed to? Yeah. Police department signed off on everything.
Great. Any questions from the board?
Is that going to be 7 days a week, 6 days a week, 5 days a week?
Usually Monday through Saturday.
Yeah, don't bother people on football Sunday.
Well, we won't.
Or
Don't
church
worry.
Sunday. I think
Church
we've
of
had
the
a
Patriots.
I think we've had a policy about Sundays
Yeah.
and not at night. And
None of us
well, you
wanna
gotta
work
use your
Sunday.
discretion. Not at night and not early in the morning.
Of course. Yeah.
So, hearing no other questions, we want to make a motion to grant the license?
And make sure you wear whatever identifying,
Always.
Yeah, just
and
identify
honor,
yourself.
the no soliciting signs.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
please, because we get the calls if you don't.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
How long have you been doing,
Not
how
to
long
mention, you
have
don't
you
want
been?
to face the other end of it.
We've been around since
Business.
92.
Oh,
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah. We're up and down like the East Coast.
Longer
Offices.
than some of you, I'm sure, have been on.
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to say, they don't look.
Except that guy, right?
I know, I can't comment on age, but I was,
No, yes.
Great. Okay, thank you. So if we have a motion, do we want a second?
did you make the motion? Okay, I'll second it.
Motion, second, all those in favor? Great.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
For pickup? Are they just ready to? Oh,
Yep, and she'll have everything signed off for you.
thank you.
Thank you.
You guys have a good night. Great day.
Good night.
All right. Action item D, consideration and possible action on the approval of the following Town of Sturbridge election workers: Joanne Chamberlain, Tim Bardsley, Deb Morris, Beverly Spreeman, Pat Roy, Marie Dubree, Sandra Gibson Quigley, Sharon McDonald, Michelle Moran, Susan Schwartz, Diane Trapacio, Eliza Kay, Cheryl Economist, Nancy Forbes, Brian Towns, and Doris Towns.
Good thing we know.
Everybody knows Elisa.
Yes, yes. So, these are your election workers for the
Yes,
upcoming season?
so Lynn Gerard, Town Clerk, and this is just something that Mass General Law approves, that we have to have the Board of Selectmen approve the election workers for the 26-27 season. I am looking for additional election workers. Quite a few of mine have aged out. We've had quite, probably about 4 of them that have retired this past year. So slowly, we're getting some new blood in here, but we are always looking for additional help, and we do utilize the senior workers too, especially during early voting, which will be starting up soon, and also as greeters at our local elections.
Do they have to fill out an application?
Yes, so so what I'd like to do usually is try them out first, to see if it's a good fit, because it is a long day. It's a 15, 16-hour day that they're working. And we do like to have them for at least a good part of the day. You know, maybe a split shift, but the election workers themselves at the precincts work a 15-hour day.
Hearing no questions from the board, do we want a motion to confirm?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. All those in favor? Good luck.
Thank you.
And next up, consideration and possible action on the approval of Jeff Smith and Constantino Economist as constables for the 2026 September primary and the November state election. I think this is pretty straightforward.
formality, yes.
No questions.
No questions.
We have a motion
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Thank you very much.
I'm not pronouncing those names.
No,
well
that
done.
took
Thanks,
it all out of me tonight. Action item F, consideration and possible action on authorizing select board chair to sign an agreement with Arquetti Group LLC for digital social media marketing and promotional services effective August 3rd, 2026 through July 30th, 2027.
We're actually going to authorize the vice chair tonight
Got it.
to do that.
Okay.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Did we do the constables? Did I
Yes,
miss-
we already
oh,
did
I
that.
missed that, okay.
Action item G, consideration and possible action on the issuance of a one-day liquor license to 7 Railroads Brewing Company on July 24th, 6 to 9 p.m. for the Pickleball U Tournament at 178C Main Street. Hi, how are you?
I'm Rachel Rosenblum. I'm the owner of 7 Railroads Brewing Company in Palmer.
Nice, all right. And you're doing a one-day event at Pickleball U?
Yeah, it's my understanding they do these often, and they
do.
have a different
Yeah,
brewery
this
all the
is-
time.
Yep,
so.
yep, perfect. So, any questions from the board?
No, we haven't had a problem over.
I'm tip certified. I've done events off-site before, so.
Excellent.
Nope.
I just have a
We were going to
question.
ask that.
What's a jockey box?
A jockey box is basically it's a portable tap system. So most commonly they're made out of like igloo coolers is the like generic version. And then they have coils inside, you fill it with ice, and there's taps on the front, and then it's hooked up to your CO2 and your kegs, and that way you can just have draft beer that travels.
Oh, okay.
Sounds fun.
It is fun, you know, beer's fun.
Yeah, beer's fun.
No other questions from the board? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the one-day liquor license to 7 Railroads Brewing Company on July 24th, 6 to 9 p.m. for the Pickleball U Tournament at 178C Main Street.
I'll second.
We have a motion, a second. All those in favor? Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I pick that up now, or? Perfect, thank you so much.
Consideration and possible action on the issuance of a one-day liquor license for Hamilton Rod and Gun Club Car Show on August 7th, hours 2 p.m. to 1 a.m., and August 8th, hours 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. How you doing?
Hi, Lola Silverberg, bar manager of the Hamilton Riding Gun Club.
Nice.
This is a year.
This is an annual
This is an
thing.
annual thing, yeah.
So
It's wild.
we
It
haven't
is.
had a
It's awesome.
problem.
Yep.
You say it's wild, and I say we haven't had a problem.
Well, we haven't, but I mean, I don't mean it's wild, but there's a lot of interesting people there.
It can't be too wild if we haven't had a problem, right?
I like what I said more, but I know. Sturbridge's version of wild.
Yeah,
Fun.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
That's what you're trying to say, but it's all.
Oh, good.
Nice.
So, great. All right, any questions from the board? It's a repeat event?
Yes.
Oh, good. Hearing none, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the issuance of a one-day liquor license to the Hamilton Rod and Gun Club Car Show on August 7th, hours 2 to 1 and August 8th, hours 10 to 1
Motion, do we have a second?
A second.
All those in favor? Good luck.
If we were ever gone to the garage, that's what we use in the garage, is that?
You know what? Now that you said that, I know what she's talking about exactly.
You guys have a good night.
Thank you,
Good
too.
night.
The things you learn every day.
Yeah.
Action item I, consideration and possible action to authorize the town administrator to sign the contract for the town-wide pavement preservation project to Seal Coating Inc., DBA Indus as the lowest responsible and eligible bidder for a total contract amount of $762,747.25 to be funded from Chapter 90.
Pretty straightforward. This is our maintenance program for the asphalt, so.
What do we have in our Chapter 90 funds these days?
No, I don't know off the top of my head, I'll have to look. I know we've got a few road paving projects planned with it, so.
No, I know, but a few million, I
Yeah, it's a
think,
few
to it.
million in there. I don't have an exact number, though, but this is, this takes a little hunk of it, but it's exactly what it's there for.
But I mean, there's a lot, there's money
Oh,
left.
yeah, there's
after
plenty
this.
left.
Yeah.
This is not the whole shebang. There's paving to be done out of that this year, there's a lot. Yeah, we're in good shape.
My only question is, there was only one bidder for this, or?
I thought we had was that one only one? Yeah, we had a few for the materials, but I think we only had one for that.
Okay. And that's typical, or is?
Yeah,
is
that could happen sometimes,
okay.
yeah. It's specialized and depends on the project size, how many bidders you get.
Right.
We get a lot of bids for the materials. Gravel, the asphalt, the sand. That's where we get the bids and we get the competitive pricing. But that comes out of our own materials budget on top of it. So with the Chapter 90 money, I mean, granted, it's all our money, but still.
All right, Hearing no other questions, do we have a motion? I'll make a motion to fund the $762,747.25 from Chapter 90 for the townwide pavement preservation project to Seal Coating Inc., DBA Indus.
And to authorize the TA to sign the contract.
And to authorize the TA to sign the contract.
I'll second.
We have a motion, a second. All those in favor? Action item J, consideration of possible action on authorizing the town administrator to establish a review group or committee in collaboration with the Board of Health to evaluate landfill closure options and develop recommendations for a landfill closure plan.
So the Board of Health sent a letter over. This was something we've talked about right along. We know that the landfill probably has about a 7-year life. It takes 3 to 4 years to close a landfill, and it seems pointless not to start and just keep spending money on something we're going to be starting to close in a couple of years anyway. Even now, the work that we have done on it, the grading work that we went to town meeting about, all of the work that we've done would have to be done toward the closure anyway. So we're trying very hard not to invest money on things there that we're going to waste or undo that would not be part of this. What I am looking at doing is it will likely be a staff committee of Heather and Jacqueline, myself, Conservation, Ken, and then likely the chairs of the 2 respective boards, so Jamie and Linda, and whether or not they came to every meeting or were at least certainly going to have a voice as they bring all the information back to their boards.
And I talked with, he expressed an interest in wanting to do it.
Yes, Jamie definitely is interested, and I know Linda is interested. So I think it's time for us to just put a meeting together, get an initial kickoff. And for anybody listening, this involves not just the actual closure, but what do we choose to do instead? Do we have a transfer station? Do people just call their own companies? Do we still recycle? There's a whole host of things that have to be looked at. So beyond the logistics that take 3 years to do it, the actual redefining your whole trash system takes a while. And looking at the costs and what the cost of the residents would be. Is it something we can fund? Are we going to have a trash service in our budget that replaces that? Those are all the questions we're going to have to look at.
I think it's really good that we're getting ahead of it. I think it's a really good idea. Any questions from the board?
No?
So when we do form a committee like this, will we be looking for large members too, or will we just kind of do it internally?
No, this will be for now just staff primarily, and then just the 2 members of the committees. As we move out, when things move on to more of a policy level, so we're going to have, so there are 2 sort of facts to this. There's the logistics of how to close it, which is really going to be much more of a staff kind of a thing. I think when we get to the discussion of what do we want to do instead with trash removal, I think that's probably when it will broaden out to bigger discussions here with the whole board or a subcommittee of the board when we move toward that policy side. From the logistics of the closure, really, I think that's much more going to be a public works and conservation and health question.
That makes total sense, but when we do move into what to
Yes,
do,
then it's a
even some
policy.
public hearings, because residents have
Absolutely.
feelings about that.
Absolutely, this is going to have to be a very public process
Impacts
if you're changing
everybody.
trash
Correct.
processes at all. But ultimately, what people have to realize is it is going to change because we only have a 7-year capacity anyway. So unfortunately, sometimes we hear people say, I don't want to change it, I like it. That's not going to be an option. So what is an option we would want the input on to alleviate for the people who aren't thrilled with the fact that this is going to have to close. We certainly want to hear from them.
Well, hearing no other questions, do we have a motion to authorize our town administrator to establish a review group or committee in collaboration with the Board of Health to evaluate the landfill closure options?
So moved.
Second.
A motion, second. All those in favor? Action item K, consideration and possible action on the acceptance of the resignation of Ken Talentino from the Finance Committee effective July 20th, 2026. I think fairly straightforward. We thank Ken for all of his efforts and the time that he's put into the town of Sturbridge. And do we have a motion on his resignation?
So moved with thanks.
Second.
Second. Oh, go ahead.
We have a motion, a second. All those in favor? Thank you, Ken, for everything. Next up, old business. Mary Lou.
Nothing.
Mary Dowling.
I just have a quick question. You know where the National Grid's replacing the poles in a few locations, like all along Fisk Hill, they are. I've had residents ask, and I guess I don't know. For a long time now, the two poles have been joined together.
The doubles?
They're double. They're removing the old poles, I assume.
Most cases they should be.
Because I don't remember when they came forward, us approving like a double pole
I can
together.
email.
I've seen it around town in other spots.
Yeah, there's a lot of it, and a lot of towns are dealing with that. Let me email,
Yeah, because, I mean, I know they come forward with that.
Yep,
But I was
I'll-
under the impression when they put up a new one, they were replacing the old one.
usually they do, but let me check with
I
Demaris.
have had a lot of complaints
Yep,
about.
people hate
them.
double poles. Yeah.
Yeah, I think some of it may be Verizon or Spectrum, still
Yeah, they're
connected
not
to,
all
connected to
Grid's
the
poles.
old pole.
where's
So they're gonna-
They can't move their stuff. They have to
Until,
come-
what happens is,
Yeah.
yeah, so Grid can't take the pole off till Verizon shows up to move their
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And,
But we approved new poles replacing, not
yes, but
in
it
addition
might
to,
take
so
a
they're gonna
while,
have to move
right.
on that.
Well, yeah, but unfortunately, even they're at the whims of Verizon, Spectrum, all the other.
Because they can't touch their.
No, I get that, but I mean,
Yeah.
they
The
are
plan is
also
to go.
under an
I
obligation
believe
to
so,
secure
but I will,
that.
yes, but I will
permission.
confirm that there's no problem other than just time of waiting.
Yeah, because that's a real eyesore for neighborhoods, and it's not something that I contemplated when we agreed to the new poles. That it would be indefinite, or even that there would be two poles even for weeks or months. That's not something.
Yeah, I
they
think the reality
That
is
is
though
not
that
something they
there-
explained to us,
There
though.
has to be legislation somewhere because Grid doesn't even have control over that. And I'm quick to blame them for a lot, but Grid does not have any control over the other utilities moving their stuff. We ran into it even with our own lines. We want, they were doing things on poles. Our lines run up to Tantasqua. We couldn't do anything with ours until Verizon moved theirs. And, I mean, I think that may be something I have to talk to our state
Well, I
delegation
guess in the
about.
future, though, then I'm only going to approve new poles when they agree that they will do whatever they need to do to seek permission to get the other ones. Because we can't, Robin, we can't have like two poles every time they want to replace a pole.
Realistically, I'm not sure you want to tie up power upgrades for that. I mean, we
It's a
need to
real
look
visual
into it.
blank.
It is, but I can't.
Okay, let's just, I mean,
yeah.
we don't have anybody here
I think
tonight,
we
but
gotta-
that's something
yeah.
that needed to be thoroughly explained to us when we approved for new poles. When they came in to talk about Fisk Hill, they did say they're going to be taller than the old poles, which implies that the old poles are no
Yeah.
longer going to be there.
No,
They're
I
gonna
do
be-
think they are gone.
Okay,
As far as when is the problem.
When you talk to them, see if they have any type
I
of
will
a
find out what the-
timeline.
and I'll
you
find
know.
out what the
Right,
rules
yeah,
are.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
If there needs to be some state regulation on it, we'll push
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Any other? Any old? No, I have no old. Any new? Mary Lou? New business? New business?
No.
No, not for me either. Approval of minutes, June 15th and July 6th.
We can't do June 15th, because me and you weren't there.
Okay.
And I think for that one too, I think we did start at, I think it says we started at 6, Jamie called it to order at 6:15, but I think we probably started at 6:30.
No, was that the one we started early for some reason? We started a meeting early because somebody had to come in.
Yeah, there was a discussion or something.
Yes, it was joint with planning. I think.
I don't remember coming early, though.
Yeah, not for June, yeah.
I'll look, we'll have to look in the notes. Yep. Well, if I look at the minutes, I might know.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I think it was just the three of us.
Yeah, it was just the three of us.
And
I think
just because I always run late, I would know if I had to be here at 6:15. I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
I would,
right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think I was here at
Yeah,
6:15, I'm just,
Yeah.
And July 6th
Yeah.
approval, do we should have a quorum here to approve that.
I'll make a
right?
motion that we approve the July 6, 2026 hearing minutes.
Second.
All those in favor? And an abstention from me. Citizens Forum, make that easy, and then a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Good meeting.